Welcome back to another day of IBN Presents the 12 Days of Bourbon Hunting. Sarah, we have a Four Roses single barrel pick from the gift shop today.
That's right, and we hunted this one down by just calling, actually.
Yeah, I actually think this particular one is that would have been one that we could have pulled, but I pulled the one because I found it, was the one where the day I went to the Beam Distillery, and if you're going to Beam,
you might as well
go to Four Roses. Not like it's a consolation prize at all. I should say, if you're going to Beam, you're definitely going to Four Roses.
They're right there next to each other.
Vice versa.
Like, not next to each other, but as close as two distilleries can be.
Pretty close. I would say Willett and Heaven Hill is technically closer.
Okay, fine.
But before we get into this, I do want to say, would you like to give us a Christmas or holiday present? Well, you can if you like by simply subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Typically, the percentage of people who watch us and are subscribed versus aren't is almost 50-50. So going into 2025, it would mean a lot to a small mom and pop shop here if you would just hit that subscribe.
So I thought you were going to pull the one from our Bardstown hunting video, our second edition.
Sarah, that was a plan, and I went looking for it and couldn't find it, but I did find this one.
Oh, okay. See, I was like, wait, this isn't the plan. All right.
Yeah, having a lot of bourbon problems, right? Ugh. I've also been collecting a lot of single barrel Four Roses for a hopeful event in 2025, so that's why there's more Four Roses single barrels floating around here than normal. Mm-hmm. Let's tell you about this one. This is an OBSQ. That's a 35% rye mash bill on here, and
gosh, that Q is barely not an O.
I know. It was bottled July 2024, and it is a 10-year, 4-month-old.
Okay.
At 57.8.
15.6. Right? I think so.
Yeah.
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 Pretty sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. A little more subdued than, I mean, it's very earthy and oaky.
It is, but I get this great, rich spice on it.
It's a little cast iron skillet to me. Cornbread sitting in some butter in a cast iron skillet, you know?
Yeah, it's got a lot of intense, bold seasoning, spice kind of thing, but also some sweet and savory notes in there. Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm opposed to having jalapenos in my cornbread, I would say this cornbread has jalapenos in it, and that's sort of accounting for some of the spice that's in this. Because it does have a dry black pepper type of spice note to it. To your health.
To black pepper, yeah.
Wow.
That's, whew.
It's got some heat.
It sure does.
First sip, of course, but on this first sip, a little bit of dryness. It's over 10 years worth of oak, and it's barrel proof, so that's not unlikely to happen.
And I think it's spice forward, so that's adding to that as well.
The black pepper. I think I'm ready for my second sip too, Sarah.
Whew, yeah, spicy. This one's a spicy one. Once you know with the OB recipes, it is the higher rye content, so it's a little bit to be expected.
Now the Q, do you remember what the Q's all about?
I would imagine it's probably floral spice.
The SQ, or the S is, yeah, the EQ, I should say. Floral, rose petal, and acacia.
Acacia.
Acacia?
I think that's how you say it. Rose petal and acacia. Banana, refreshing, medium body. Wow, this one is not the spicy one of the yeast strains, but it is spicier in terms of the mash bill. So.
Yeah, with the 35% rye.
Yeah.
Banana?
And again, that 10-year age statement. I don't get banana on this one.
No, I don't get banana. Sure don't.
I do get some floral, though.
Yeah, for sure, floral. Rose petals, okay. The acacia, I'm not really sure what that is. Refreshing and medium body? I don't know. This isn't what I would think of if someone referred to a bourbon as refreshing.
No.
I think that would be more sort of eucalyptus, more pine, sort of clears the.
See, I'm thinking
refreshing.
of something what people would describe as smooth or easy, approachable to drink. Something you can sip on,
or maybe
quickly.
Maybe more citrus notes lime. You think of Sprite, right, or 7-Up, crisp, refreshing. Maybe that's so not exactly how I would describe it.
I think it's a slow sipper, and I think it sits.
It does sit, and it builds, and we're gonna let it build because we want to tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get the Angel Share t-shirt that I'm wearing, also my hat, the Glencairns that we're drinking from, including our water glass over there. Sarah, go ahead and take a sip and show them. All of our hoodies and sweaters and sweatshirts and bottle cut candles and more. Always coming soon at whiskyambitions.com.
You can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight. Join our community for as little as $1 a month, and that's where you get access to our barrel picks, discounts on that merch depending on your tier, and more.
All right, we'll be right back. Now, Sarah, this is the second single barrel of the series, and typically we don't review single barrels unless it's the on-the-shelf single barrel offering.
That's true.
This isn't a pick per se, but it is a single barrel as it was picked by Brentt Elliott, Master Distiller, and sold there at the gift shop. So it is sort of like someone did a pick. It's just the Master Distiller himself did the pick. We also did this with the Dark Arts a few days ago. It was also a pick out of Trevor's. Normally we don't review that stuff because we don't feel like it has a lot of value because you can't go out and get that exact one. Yes, you, the viewer. But with the 12 days of bourbon hunting, I feel like picks are actually very hunted.
Well, and Four Roses picks, especially the single barrels, you know, some people care very much about the recipe. Other people are like, I just want a Four Roses single barrel, barrel strength pick.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, people call, like what we've normally done in the past is call the distillery, see if they have them. People will wait in line for some of them. It's kind of a big deal. And you see them going on secondary. Not that I condone that. They're a bit coveted.
They are, and I can see why. The 10 different recipes. I mean, it's sort of like collect them all, find your favorite, and then go after those favorites. You know, but I'm sort of like the people who are like, just give me a Four Roses single barrel proof,
right?
Please. So I wouldn't put the OBSQ as probably my favorite recipe.
I don't think so either. You know, I can't remember a lot of encounters with Qs, but I do like OBs. Like I like the higher rye mash bill typically.
Didn't we pick a Q in our single barrel pick?
I don't think so.
Maybe it was an O. Well, you guys are
There's 5 different possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are seeing on screen what we picked.
But if we did, then it was exceptionally good, and
of course it was the best of the 10 because we had all 10 at our fingertips. Yeah, but I am liking this. We've always said there's a thing that we call the Four Roses effect, where Four Roses will either be the absolute best or more down on the bottom, depending on the company that it keeps.
It stands out amongst other bourbons. It definitely has its own unique flavor profile, which will either make it stand out in like the best way, or it stands out as the outlier of all these things taste in the same realm, and this one's kind of funky.
Yeah, it's a little unique.
Yeah.
But that's when comparing to other bourbons. When you're just sitting with any Four Roses single barrel, I feel like it's usually pretty exceptional.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay. There it goes.
I can always pour more if we have more to say. If we have more to say about it.
I think I'm all set.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, that's a good place to end it then. Well,
it is.
Hey, as I said in the beginning, if you haven't subscribed to us already, we would love to have you and we'd greatly appreciate it. You can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay, see y'all tomorrow. Until then, drink more bourbon.